Our first lesson on human reproduction is going to be looking at the male reproductive anatomy today, and this will be followed by looking at the female reproductive anatomy before we can jump into some of the more cellular features of human reproduction. So to start us off, this image here is from your textbook, and while it is a good image, it is a little bit overloaded with lots of information for you. So what I'm going to do to start instead is have a look at this much simpler version of the male reproductive system. Now, where we're going to start is where we have the production of sperm, and this is in the testes, or in this case we can only see one, so it is the testicle, and I've highlighted this one in yellow on our diagram. So in the testes and in the testicle, this is where sperm is produced. Now, as sperm are produced, they then travel into this next part, which sits just on top of the testes, and this is known as the epididymis. Now, within the epididymis, there are a bunch of coiled tubules, and this is where the maturation of our sperm takes place. Now, some of the features of sperm are helped in their development in the testes, as there are structures within the testes known as seminiferous tubules. And in the seminiferous tubules, we have cells known as interstitial cells, which secrete testosterone. We'll come back to them shortly. After our sperm has been produced in the testes and matured in the epididymis, it follows this pathway known as the vas deferens. Now, there are two vas deferens in the body. There is one coming from each testes over the top of the bladder before they pass through and into, well, not into, but through the prostate gland. So the vas deferens is this long cord that I've highlighted in pink. And the prostate gland itself, if I highlight this one in orange, our prostate gland is this walnut-sized gland on either side of the urethra. So once our vas deferens has passed through the prostate, we see that we have another cord, and if I highlight this one in red this time, this here is our urethra. It is what runs throughout the head of the penis, and it then passes out of the body. So when we're talking about the pathway of sperm in the body, we start first of all in the testes, in the testicles. After the testicles, sperm goes to mature in the epididymis. And after sperm is matured in the epididymis, it is carried by the vas deferens, and it is carried over the top of the bladder, as we can see in pink, and it then travels through the prostate gland. After our prostate gland after the sperm has travelled through the prostate gland, it then passes into the urethra, and then through the process of ejaculation, sperm will then leave the glands of the penis. And the glands of the penis is this structure down the bottom left-hand corner. It is referring to the head of the penis. Now, when we're talking about all of these key structures, one thing that we haven't spoken about has been the muscle, which is located in the penis itself. And this muscle is what we can see surrounding this red highlighting, and it's what's in pink. The corpus spongiosum is what swells with blood and causes the penis to become erect so that it can fit into the vagina. So overall, we have a number of key structures here. We have firstly a testicle, followed by the epididymis, vas deferens, prostate gland, and then into the penis itself. But there are some other supporting structures that are really important for us to know. And what I'll do for these supporting structures is I'll highlight these all in purple. The first of which is the seminal vesicle. The seminal vesicle is what stores and releases a sugary fluid into the sperm to help provide them with energy. And this sugary fluid takes up about 60% of the volume of semen. The next thing that we don't see so well, so I will add it in green onto my diagram, is this ejaculatory duct here actually supports out into a little pea-sized structure. And this pea-sized structure is known as the bulbourethral gland. The bulbourethral gland is really, really important for our semen to develop as well. It acts as a lubricant which precedes the emission of semen so that semen can easily travel into the vagina. The last thing that protects the semen, and more importantly the sperm as they travel out of the body, is, I'll go back to my purple highlighter here, is going to be this prostate gland, so this walnut-sized gland. The prostate gland releases an alkaline fluid, and this alkaline fluid protects the sperm as they travel into the acidic environment of the vagina. So all up, we have 3 supporting glands, structures, which release things that contribute to the semen. So down the bottom right-hand corner, if we have semen as a fluid, there are 4 key components. Number 1 is sperm. Number 2 is going to be this sugary fluid that we get from the seminal vesicle. Number 3 is going to be that alkaline component released by the prostate. And number 4 somewhat precedes the emission of semen itself, but is that lubricant to ensure the easy travel of sperm.